Pretty excited about this nickel hunt. I got a 2-box hunt. I've got a couple of boxes with nickel wrappers that I rarely see. I think these are a Brink source. Now the boxes are normal, but the wrappers inside are different. But that's not why I'm excited. I'm excited because when I checked for circulated nickels, you see it? Boom! One of the rolls has a Buffalo Ender. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and as you saw by the intro, we've got a Buffalo nickel in this box as an ender. That gets me excited. Now, I do find my fair share of Buffalo nickels here in Texas, but I've been on a mission to try to find some silver nickels because there have been eluding me for several boxes lately. That being said, I'll never turn down a Buffalo nickel ender. I'm excited to get into this hunt. You saw in the beginning, roll number 4 will have a Buffalo nickel ender for us. We'll get to that when we get going, but my biggest focus here is trying to find some silver. You guys know the drill. I will loop you in on my first good find, and hopefully it's before the Buffalo. So we're on roll number 3. The next roll is the Buffalo ender. I bring you in because I laid it out. This is looking silvery. And it is 1945 Denver. I've got my first silver nickel found coin roll hunting in quite some time. I'm happy that I have found it. That's a good sign that we've already got silver in the box. The very next roll has a Buffalo ender. And since I have you here, we'll just go really quick to see if anything stands out. I don't see anything else in this roll, but we've got a silver in roll 3 and a Buffalo coming up in roll 4. Just laid out roll 4. I pushed it down to see if I could see any other Buffaloes. I don't see them at quick glance, but here's the ender. And it is indeed, as I thought, a 1930. A little bit chewed up on the top. And I don't know if there's going to be a mint mark because it's chewed up on the bottom as well. Looks like it likely has no mint mark. It is definitely a beat up Buffalo nickel. But you know what? I'll take it either way. 1930, likely Philadelphia, chewed up Buffalo nickel to go along with a silver. First couple of finds of the box. Oh, and I'll point out too that just like in quarters, 1983 and 1982 Denver and Philadelphia minted nickels are worth a little bit more if you can get them in mint state. This is a pretty nice example. It's probably not mint state. It's more like AU50, but I'm going to pull it out anyway to check it against my album and probably roll it up because I do keep nicer condition, 82 and 83 nickels and quarters. All right, let's find more goodies. Roll number 8, and I'm bringing you in because this is an odd find, and I'm probably going to put on my blue gloves after this, but look at this. This is a 1984 Denver minted nickel. Look at the proof-like finish on it. Now, that's just an oddity. It's not San Francisco minted, so it's not a proof, but look at that. I don't think that's been polished either. It's got good shine all around it. It's almost proof-like. Too bad there's some dings on the back. The fields on the front or the obverse are okay, but that's just an oddity. You don't see 84s struck like that. If it's not a proof, it must be one of the early strikes or first strikes. That's what I'm thinking it is. So the fact that we found that one, along with a couple of those early in the box, has my optimism high that maybe we got part of someone's collection dump. Maybe I'll find a lot other nice nickels in here, but look at the finish on that. Tons of original luster. Gotta be an early strike. Let's get back to the hunt. Just grabbed roll 15 out of the box, and that'll likely be a 40s or 50s nickel there. Let's see what it is. That old Nickels ender. It's got a D mint mark on the back. 56D. And I think I see another old one. I do. 1952 out of Philly. Roll 22 is going to yield one of our first 40s that's not silver. of the box. It's a 1942. I can tell it's not silver by the look of it. If it was silver, it'd have a large mint mark above the Monticello, but it does have the D adjacent to the Monticello, and you do want to check your 1942 Ds for the over horizontal D over mint mark. So we're going to put it under the scope real quick, see if we have a D over D by any chance. I do see a little bit of something up here. Can't quite tell what it is yet. We also got some damage though, so it could just be a damage, something striking it and rubbing it across here. I'm thinking that's just damage. Let me just wipe it down a little bit more and see if we have anything else visible. If not, we'll get back to the hunt and search for more finds. Roll 24, another 40s nickel, 1948, out of Denver. Mint mark looks a little bit weird, but nothing weird about it. Roll 28. We have another 40s nickel in a different year, 1947, Denver. Roll 33, we have the back of another old nickel, hoping it's not in the 60s, and it's not. 1941, out of Philly. Roll 35, we've got an old nickel here. Too bad it is heavily corroded, but take a look at that. That is a 1939. Be a shame if it was a key date with a DRS on the back, but I'd still take it. I don't see a mint mark. Let's put it under the scope. It's got some raised elements there, but I don't think there's a mint mark. Let's check for doubling. And despite the corrosion, the 1939 Philadelphia minted Jefferson nickel does have heavy doubling on the words Monticello and 5 cents, and I don't see it. Roll 42. Unwrapped it, laid them out, and look what's peeking up at us. A Buffalo nickel, number 2 of the box. 1919 with a date. No mint mark, but not terrible detail. Let's take a look at that 1919 real quick. No doubt about it. 1919 Buffalo nickel in the box. Not absolutely terrible detail at all. Pretty cool toning to it. Hasn't been nickedated or treated. I'll take that all day. Oldest nickel of the box. Same roll, and you probably saw the back when I had flattened it out. But we've got a 1948 in the box as well. 1948 Philadelphia. So we finished box 1 of this 2-box hunt, and I'll get to the finds in a second. Other than that 1919 Buffalo nickel we found late in the hunt, a lot of the good finds were on top, and I said that maybe it was going to be a small collection dump or part of a collection dump. If that's true, that would explain why there wasn't as many good finds throughout the rest of the box, because possibly as it was being loaded and it got to the end of the box, it just started getting into a collection dump. If that's the case, and that's the sister box of this box, maybe the bottom part or a lot of this box has some more good finds. Now, it's very possible that this is just another box out of boxes they packed, and it has nothing to do with this box whatsoever, other than the fact it's the same kind of box, same kind of rolls. I got it from the same bank branch, the same day, so I'm optimistic about it. That being said, we did find 11 in the 50s. Nothing valuable here. There is no errors or varieties that I could find. There is no semi-key dates in there, although there is semi-key dates in the 50s. None of those were them. We found 5 in the 40s, excluding the silver. None of them were anything particular, other than it was good to see a 42D transition year nickel before it went to silver. That was kind of cool. We had a trash 39P, not a key or semi-key, terrible condition, not the DDR. I did pull out 3 nice nickels I'll add to the collection, as well as a crazy proof-like finished 84. On top of that, we had 2 2009s, and the finds of the box were this 1919 Buffalo nickel. Pretty good detail still on it. Some of the original luster. Maybe it was in an album for a while. We also got a 1930 that's pretty trashy, but it was an ender. Made me happy. And finally found some silver in the first couple of rolls. No other silver, but it is a 45D. and I'll add it to my silver stack. Box 1 down. What will box 2 hold? Let's get to looking. Roll number 3 of box 2 is going to give us an early 40s nickel, a 1946. And I believe that's no mint mark. Might just be some damage there. Let's take a look at it under the scope. Not that it matters. It's just a common date. But it is a 46D. We'll take it. 1 year off silver. And actually our first from 1946. Same roll. And holy smokes, I missed it by the edge. We have a 43 war nickel here. I did not see it by its edge. You can see it's not as easy to spot as sometimes they are. 1943, Philadelphia. So 43 Philadelphia, we've got to check for a doubled I, which in this condition, we're not going to see. Or a 43 over 42. Let's go look at that 3 and see if we can see a 3 over 2. I don't see it. It's pretty predominant. You would see parts of the 2, especially the tail end of the 2. Coming through this 3 right here. And although there are some minor scratches that make it look like you could see something, I don't see it. So, it's not a 43 DDO, but it is a 43 war nickel. And that is our second war nickel now in 53 rolls. Still the same roll, and I happen to notice the last one was old. And sure enough, it is 41 Denver. 3 finds, 1 roll. Roll 8. Another find. Another 48 out of Philly. Roll 17, and we've got another 40s find. A 1946 out of Denver. Looked like it even had a few steps for a second, but we'll add it to the collection. Roll 21 of box 2. 1941 found out of Philly. Roll number 27 of box 2, and we've got a pretty decent 1946, and that's a 46S. There is a double die obverse on the word Liberty and on 46 on the 1946S nickel. Problem is, usually they're worn too slick to decipher whether it is, but this one's clearly not. A little bit of grease striation, if you will, towards the outside of the rim, but other than that, not a bad 46. We'll add it to the finds up here and get back to the hunt. Roll 41, and we're going to have a 1949. Is it a Denver? It is not. It's a Philly. Roll 50 or 100 of the 2-box hunt. Just laid the roll out. Saw we had a first 4 in a Canadian nickel, 1994. No 09s in this box. We'll finish up this roll and give you a 2-box wrap up. So we finished all 100 rolls, 2 boxes. I must admit, I thought the second box might be a little better than the first, although the first was great. We still got a pretty good amount of finds here, and I'll go ahead and pan over them and show you what we got. We got 17 from the 50s. We got 11 from the 40s and 1 from the 30s. So that makes 29 Jefferson Nickels that are not silver in the box. I'll take that. We also got 2 2009s and a Canadian. As well as you saw them, the finds of the 2 boxes. 2 war nickels, 2 buffalo nickels. On top of that, I was able to add 1 more nice 1968 Denver minted. He's got a scratch on his cheek, but it's a really nicely struck Jefferson nickel, and I'll add it to my rolls. So, in my opinion, we did really well. 2 boxes hunted. We got 2 buffaloes and 2 silvers. That's 2 finds per box average. That's better than you can hope for. Still no V nickels. Didn't find any good 30s Jefferson nickels. And we could have found a few more semi-key dates, but we didn't. Still, I had fun hunting those 2 nickel boxes. It felt like a different source. There's a lot of nice 82 through 87 nickels in there, although I only kept a handful for my rolls. If you enjoyed this 2-box hunt, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.